Hello, Facebook. I'm running a little bit late again today. I tell you what, it is my 14th wedding anniversary, and I'm not sure what's happening to this one. Just the technicalities and the I have had some trusting my struggles and working with it. So it's my 14th wedding anniversary today. Happy anniversary to hubby. Not that he's watching, but big love to you. And I thought it would be fitting today because I do a lot of training, and I've developed workshops around partnership marketing. So I thought it's only fitting for today's topic that we talk about how important it is to have partnership marketing within your overall marketing mix, and also to just some tips from my experience and what I've had, what I've learned over the years to be able to choose the perfect partner, what to really look out for in terms of traits when you are choosing to collaborate. Hello Instagram, we've made it. We'll slow Mr. Ed Sheeran down. Do you love that new song? Want your love. How good is this song? Anyway, we'll get into business. So welcome everybody. I'm not sure what's happening with Periscope today. Sorry about yesterday. I was in all sorts of trouble with my Wi-Fi connection, and the problem was that I thought it would be a good idea, without really realizing it, that I was uploading a YouTube video, so that just crashed. System crashed. We're here today and feeling good about things. So today, what I have installed to share with you is the power of partnerships in business, and 3 traits to look for when choosing a partner. Okay, and not only choosing a partner, but choosing a perfect partner. Like my dear hubby, who I've actually met 2 days after my ATIV. I had no idea who, what, why to look for in a partner, but thankfully we grew together, and and still very much digging each other. Yeah. Woo. So we're going to go on a date night tonight to celebrate, which is fun. But you know, every time we talk about partnership marketing and talk about the importance of developing really good relationships with your partners, and sustainable partnerships and smart collaborations, because of course, particularly in the digital space, we do a lot of work in our paid marketing and our shared social marketing, but I just see this underutilized medium in developing partnerships in a strategic way, that you go out and that you actively sort out to formulate and commercialize relationships with like-minded individuals in your space or in your industry. Now, certainly in the tourism and hospitality space, partnership marketing is taken to the next level when we are talking about commercializing, when it comes to doing things like packaging, and that's I'm really looking forward to hanging out with the folks at Mornington Peninsula Tourism today, where I'll be delivering some online training around just that, around strategies for collaboration in business, and how to not only to choose your partners, but also systems to follow in developing your partnership model, and a formula, step-by-step formula, to be able to develop a package that you can then go on sale. And you can imagine that it oozes with leverage and potential, where something that you can just get it requires you to get creative, and but also it's very important. There's a lot of things that I've learned over my time in developing partnerships and packages and commercial arrangements, even through sponsorship arrangements, that you really want to be careful and go in with your eyes wide open and dot your I's and cross your T's. But and also in my own business now, I am a certified trainer and assessor, and that's what I do. I teach and I develop training and go out into the world and deliver them, either in one-on-one or in group or online, as we are today with the guys at Mornington. What I'm not is a university or a TAFE registered training organisation, but through partnerships I've had the great opportunity to be able to deliver training in that environment through my relationships. So that is something that I've certainly adapted from day dot in my own training practice, that through my network and relationships, that was something that how could I add value to another organisation in my space, or who can I complement? What skill set do I have that's going to complement someone else? So you have to think about what is it that you do, and really just take it. It's really as we're still kind of New Year. Well, really, it's first day of autumn. The summer's gone, people. Bye, summer. And we're having summer finally in Melbourne. Anyway, we're finally having summer, but it's autumn. So happy new season. But still, it's a great time. It's a new quarter. So we've entered into a new quarter. What's the next 90 days going to look like for you in your business? What are you going to prioritize in your marketing? And I just want to plant some little seeds of partnership for you. So, challenges that I have overcome myself, and challenges that have been shared with me from my dear clients and students and participants that I have seen over the last little while in delivering this training. So it's come in any shape, any shape or form, from forming strategic alliances to smart collaborations to partnership marketing in tourism specifically, and also packaging for profit. So actually, developing packages. But what I have found the challenge, so some things that that businesses can find challenges, is the number one, all particularly small businesses find, is the time factor. Oh, how much time is this going to take? Or you think, oh, that's a good idea, but kind of scheduling the time to make it happen. We spoke about that yesterday. If you find value in anything that sharing with you today, if you're on with me live or you watch the replay, sit down and kind of make your list of what's the next 90 days going to look like, and what am I going to prioritize to get new business or recurring business. But the challenge is time. Another challenge that I have found, and certainly others have shared with me, is confidence. Having confidence to go out to someone to partner with, and feeling that it's not, sorry about that, faces, and feeling that I might not be ready, or not good enough, or not polished enough, or I need to do this to my website before I approach X, Y, and Z. They're too big for me, or they're too small for me. I think it's just something we go back to finding what I'm going to share with you a little later on. If you can tick some boxes and also look at it and come from a place of what can I give to a business, what value can I add to someone else, you're on a winner. Remember, you're either going to win, or you're going to learn, or you'll get some really great feedback from a potential partner in what you can do to then go back to them and review. So just give it a go. Another challenge that businesses have is fear that it won't sell. So you go to someone, you go, I've got this great idea, we can collaborate, we could put this thing, and then it doesn't go anywhere, or you fear that then I don't need that extra pressure. I'm already got accountable for my own business. I don't want to have the pressure to sell someone else's, which is another objection, I guess, to taking this path, or look at this as another stream of your marketing pie. Don't want to discount is another one. So you might be thinking, oh, yeah, that all sounds well and good, Despina, but I don't want to discount. I don't want to pay any commissions. And you don't have to. That's the caveat to that. You don't actually have to do that. So the great thing about your business and the great thing about you is that you can set the boundaries about what you want this to look like. You know what value you add to your customer and your ideal customer. That's something then, down the track that, in particularly whether, more particularly in partnership, Mark, I think that's the biggest misconception that you need to discount or sharpen your pencil to make something work, which is not the case. And I've personally found that, I actually finding growth in business, that was something in over the years that, just eliminating that with, going into an arrangement feeling like we had to, when in fact, after in some instances, the big aha moment was a few years after the fact, I said, wait a second, we don't have to do this. We don't have to discount, and we don't have to, we don't have to go in at a lower rate at this and suffer, our own bottom line suffer. And suddenly that's where you're keeping on track with your growth, when you're really looking at these things. So I just wanted to, it's like a myth buster, that one, that a lot of people think, oh, I don't want to discount. You don't have to. Another one is don't know where to start. Where do you start? Where do you start? When you're talking, okay, this is all well and good, Desi, Kay, but where do I start with this? So I want to, so you can join me and do it now or do it later, the most simplest thing for you to grow your business. 3 simple questions to ask yourself to establish some gaps and see room for growth, and most importantly, where partnership really provides a solution for you. So the first thing is, what is it that I do? So what is it that I do and what I do really well? The one thing. So for example, what I do is produce and deliver training. I do that really well. I went and got all my qualifications for adult education and, got my Cert 4 in training and assessment. And the more I'm getting in front of people, I'm feeling the more I'm mastering. Well, that's what I hope to achieve. Mastering my teaching style and getting comfortable in my own skin and be in front of people. This was the very reason why I thought this will be great for my own development in doing these live broadcasts consistently, because it really helps with public speaking. And I can even tell the difference today, that my heart is not pounding after the 3rd day that I've done the live broadcast. I'm kind of doing a bit of a side note now. I'm also being a lot more conscious of my and and you know what I mean. So I feel calmer. I feel, I don't know if anyone's seen the others, if you can tell, but I certainly can feel it. And that's part of the training. So that's what I do. Okay. I want you to think about, what is it that you do? The second thing I want to ask yourself is what I don't do. Okay. So think, what is it that I don't do and I don't plan to do? And if I did do this, I would require some level of investment, or I would need to have some level of joint venture. So if you have so think about what you don't do. So like I shared with you earlier, what I don't do is a physical, I'm not a TAFE. I don't have a physical building where you come and take my courses. Okay, I'm an independent trainer. That's what I don't do. I don't have a bricks and mortar school. Okay, I only have a service. Okay, so what do I do? Number 1. What don't I do? Number 2. Okay, this is where I should be using my little whiteboard at behind me. And number 3 is the big one. What can I do? through partnerships. So for example, for myself, I do training. I don't do brick and mortar school. But what I can do through partnerships is deliver training at school organisations and institutions like Holmes Glen TAFE, through partnerships through Institute of Digital Marketing Australia. Okay, so had I not have that partnership and that relationship that I've nurtured and formulated, that opportunity wouldn't exist. Okay, so I want you to think back to you. Or if you are a tourism business, okay, so this is if you're a service provider like me, okay, if you're an experience, you're an experience and you go out there and provide something, God, hot air ballooning always comes to mind. But if you're an experience, you do experiences, but what you don't do is overnight stays, okay? You're an accommodation, you do overnight stays, but you don't do experiences. So that's where I'm going with that. If you want to start playing and getting in a dreamy state about what could this look like for me, hi Aussie Inhu from Instagram, welcome. If you're kind of stuck or saying no, that's not for me, that's a little simple 3-step exercise that you can take. Okay, so for anyone, I can see some people have just joined now where I've been experimenting with doing live broadcasts on all 3 channels, Instagram, Periscope and Facebook. So today we're talking about the power of partnerships in business, and what we're about to head into is that once you've established the gap and you've established who would be an ideal partner for you that you would love to work with, who would be an ideal partner for you that with what you do, you could add so much value for them, and together you will grow to another level. Okay, you will take things to another level for both of your businesses. So once you establish that, you've got to have you've got to have a bit of a list for yourself for what traits you need to look for in these people, because at the end of the day, we do business with people. We don't do business with logos. It's the people, it's the relationships. So I would say the very first trait to look for is to be values aligned. To know that you're both in sync, that you value the same things. Kalimera Nikos, we're talking about partnerships today, and the power of partnerships in business. I was just saying about the 3 key traits in looking for a perfect partner. The very number 1 trait to look for is someone that is aligned in your values in business. I don't know if you'd like to share. I can see comments now if you'd like to share, but I know myself personally, this is something I've gone into arrangements and partnerships where I haven't considered these things. I guess that's why I'm sharing with you. And when you come out of it, you say, well, we actually just valued very different things and do business differently. So that would be my number 1. And you really don't get to know if your values aligned until you take the time to get to know, and even just be very clear on, this is what I value in business, and this is how I would like this arrangement. And you need to really think about contractual obligations, particularly when we're talking about commercial partnerships. If you do, I'm no lawyer, I'm not, but if you do need to, even to go and seek some further counsel and some legal advice, depending on the scale. That is to the point, like I've shared with many of you in the past, I've always worked in small business. I can have a coffee with a business one day and we're flying and having something, loaded and online and ready to be booked and paid for the next. And that's what I love about small business and being able to do that. But I know in other organizations it's not that simple, and I've just had I've had a recent experience where it just did, from 4 meetings, the needle didn't move at all. Things take time, but when it does take off, it will be really, really lucrative. But I appreciate that someone will say, well, it's not that easy. But take the steps if you believe in something that will work, but being values aligned is the number one trait. Number two I have is mindset aligned, and again I share this with you because there has been instances in the past, and even more recently, going into conversations, I was asked to go in and meet. It was a regional tourism business, and I started talking about relationships. And I knew I'd lost this particular person at the very minute that I started talking about relationships. Now, for me, I think if you could define our industry, and I don't know, many industries, just business in general, if you could define it in one word, relationships would be my first that would come up. Relationships, collaboration, connecting, showing up. It's all of that. This particular person, the mindset was very driven towards profit. Important, very important in business. We just wouldn't be here doing any of this if we weren't supporting or having an income stream as well as a live stream. Haha, I get it. We do, money is important, but certainly going into a relationship, I knew through that conversation that this wasn't going to work out. So it is. Like, I'm celebrating a wedding anniversary today. I know we just wouldn't get to that first date, second date, first, anniversary as boyfriend and girlfriend if we didn't go through those conversations. If you, you just get that. I call it chem. It's the same thing as it's the same thing as in personal relationships as well as business. So the mindset aligned, and at the end of the day, the mindset is best described as win-win. So going in to a relationship where you're thinking, what can I give? Not what can I get? It sounds cliche, but it's really important, and some people don't particularly think that way. I'm sure you've probably maybe noticed that yourself within your own journeys in business and careers. But so 3 traits to look for when choosing the perfect partner. Number 1, values aligned. Number 2, mindset aligned. And number 3 is being market aligned. It's one thing to be complementing a business, but you also want to be complementing each other's markets, because when we have a mismatch there, then we're not going to get as much value out of our partnership and our relationship. So being market aligned is being laser focused, crystal clear on who your ideal target market is. And then through that little exercise we did earlier, what do I do? What don't I do? What can I do? Thinking, okay, this is where I'm taking this to the next step, is that this particular partner is also aligned with my own target market. Because if you're going to take something to market to your people without knowing that that it's going to add value to them, then you're doing them a disservice, and we don't want to go down that path. We want to add value to our partner. Most importantly, we want to add value to our people, to our own customers. So we want to think about them being your partner and your customers. Look after them, and then you'll get looked after. Okay, I think again, it's just as pivotal in business as it is in your every day-to-day living. Givers gain. I truly believe that. Okay, so is there any questions, comments? Leave me a comment if you're coming in and watching this on replay later. I am really enjoying just how much this has really got me jumping out of bed to prepare for these live broadcasts. But I'd love some feedback, whether you send me a little PM or send me a comment. I'd really appreciate it. So that's it. I'm going to be talking about partnerships all day today, and this is a really good warm-up. So I'm going to be spending, and next week I'll be heading over to Geelong, which is really exciting too, and looking forward to seeing all the crew down there. So without further ado, I want to leave you with a quote of the day to get you pumped and ready to go. Okay, I'm doing this randomly. It wasn't predetermined. Here we go. Happiness isn't getting all you want. It's enjoying all you have. I love that. Happiness isn't getting all you want. It's enjoying what you already have. I hope you loved that just as much as I did. Okay, so there's our quote of the day. We're done. Thank you for hanging around and have a wonderful, productive day. And here's to Your Excellence Instagram and Your Excellence Facebook and Your Excellence Periscope, although I'm not quite sure if we got to them. Okay, happy days, everyone. Bye. Bye, Instagram. Bye, beautiful, facey people. Harry, woohoo! Hey, H, bye.